Abdul Qadir Bedil. Maulana Abul Ma'ani Mirza Abdul Qadir Bedil, also known as Bedil Dehlavi, was an Indian Sufi, and the greatest Indo-Persian poet, next to Amir Khusrau, who lived most of life during the reign of Aurangzeb, the sixth Mughal emperor. He was the foremost representative of the later phase of the Indian style, Sabki-Hindi, of Persian poetry, and the most difficult and challenging poet of that school. He is considered the most difficult and challenging poet of Safavid Mughal poetry. Life. Bedil was born in Azimabad, present-day Patna, in India. He was the son of the Mirza Abd al-Khalik, d. 1648, a former Turkic soldier who belonged to the Arlas tribe of the Chagatai. The descendants of the family had originally lived in the city of Bokhara in Transoxiana, before moving to India. Bedil's native language was Bengali, but he also spoke Urdu, then known as Rikta, Sanskrit, and Turkic, as well as Persian and Arabic, which he learned in elementary school. Bedil mostly wrote ghazal and rubai, quatrain, in Persian, the language of the royal court, which he had learned since childhood. He is the author of 16 books of poetry, which contain nearly 147,000 verses and include several masnavi, in that language. He is considered one of the prominent poets of Indian school of poetry in Persian literature, and owns his unique style in it. Both Mirza Ghalib and Iqbal-I Lahori were influenced by him. His books include Tilazam-I Hare, Turi Marifat, Shahar Unsur and Ruqa'at. Possibly as a result of being brought up in such a mixed religious environment, Bedil had considerably more tolerant views than his poetic contemporaries. He preferred free thought to accepting the established beliefs of his time, siding with the common people and rejecting the clergy who he often saw as corrupt. Bedil is much welcomed in Afghanistan, Tajikistan, and Pakistan. Bedil came back to prominence in Iran in 1980s. Literary critics Mohammad Reza Shafi'i Kadkani and Shams Langrudi were instrumental in Bedil's re-emergence in Iran. Iran also sponsored 2 international conferences on Bedil. The Indian school of Persian poetry, especially Bedil's poetry, is criticized for its complex and implicit meanings. However, it is much welcomed in Afghanistan, Tajikistan, Pakistan, and India than in Iran. The main reason could be his style, which is kept a bit Indian. In Afghanistan, a unique school in poetry studying is dedicated to Bedil's poetry called Bedil Sinasi, Bedil Studies, and those who have studied his poetry are called Bedil Sinaz, Bedil Expert. His poetry plays a major role in Indo-Persian classical music of Central Asia as well. Many Afghan classical musicians, e.g. Mohammad Hussain Sarahang, Ustad Nashanaz, have sung plenty of Bedil's ghazals. Grave. His grave, called Baghi Bedil, Garden of Bedil, is situated across Purana Kila, at Mathura Road next to the major Dhyan Chand National Stadium gates and the pedestrian bridge over Mathura Road in Delhi. Works. Bedil, Abd al-Qadir. Abaz-Hay Bedil, Nasri Adabi, Ruq'at, Nakat, Isharat, Shahar, Unsur. Edited by Akbar Bidarvand. Tehran, Niga, 1386-2007. Bedil, Abd al-Qadir. Kulayat. Lucknow, Naval Kishore, 1287 1870 or 1871. Bedil, Abd al-Qadir. Ghazaliyat-I Bedil Dehlavi. Edited by Akbar Bidarvand. Shiraz, Naveed-I Shiraz, 1387 2008 or 2009.